All right, if you're in the nonprofit world, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say the pressure is constant, right? But what if I told you the key to unlocking your mission's full potential is actually already here? Today, we're going to dive into how artificial intelligence isn't just for some giant tech company. It's an incredibly powerful tool for organizations just like yours, organizations driven by purpose. So let's get right into it.
So, let's kick things off with a question that really gets to the heart of all this. I want you to think about this for a second. Are your nonprofit's biggest challenges actually its greatest opportunities? What if all those things holding you back, the constant pressure, the tight budgets, are secretly setting you up for a massive leap forward?
Because let's be real for a minute. The day-to-day reality for most nonprofits, it's a total pressure cooker. You're on the front lines, you're tackling some of the world's biggest, toughest problems, and you're doing it with, let's face it, pretty limited resources.
I mean, take a look at this. Does any of this sound familiar? This isn't just a list of bullet points, right? This is the daily grind for so many of you. You've got this amazing, passionate staff, but they're stretched so thin that burnout is a real threat. You've got critical data, but it's buried in a dozen different messy spreadsheets, so good luck seeing the big picture. And oh man, the grant writing. It's just this endless, exhausting cycle. It's a hamster wheel that's directly holding you back from making an even bigger impact.
And all of that stuff, it all feeds right into what people call the nonprofit paradox. It's this crazy situation where you're expected to be super lean, keep that overhead super low, but at the exact same time, you're supposed to deliver world-changing, limitless impact. It's this constant tension, this push and pull that leaves almost zero room to breathe, let alone innovate or take a few risks. Okay, but this is where the story takes a turn, because right inside that pressure cooker, there is this incredible opportunity just waiting. So let's talk about how AI can give you a serious advantage. So, when we say AI, what are we actually talking about here? First off, forget the sci-fi movie robots. That's not it. In this context, AI is just a tool. It's technology that automates all those repetitive, tedious tasks. It's something that can analyze your data and find hidden patterns that you'd never have the time to spot. And it helps you personalize your communication. But here's the most important part, the key takeaway. It's not about replacing the human heart of your organization. Not at all. It's about freeing up that heart to do the work that only humans can do. This slide right here, this really gets to the core of the whole thing. For a corporation, AI is all about one thing, optimizing profits. But for a nonprofit, that exact same technology can be flipped on its head. It's not about profit, it's about amplifying your mission. You're not trying to personalize a customer experience. You're trying to genuinely engage donors more effectively. It's a complete 180-degree mindset shift. I really love this way of thinking about it. Instead of seeing AI as this cold, faceless technology, think of it more like your new digital coworker. Seriously, imagine someone who's always on, who's constantly learning, and is 100% dedicated to helping you and your team achieve your mission. It's a partner in purpose.
Okay, so that all sounds good, right? But let's get practical. How does this stuff actually work in the real world? We're going to focus on two of the biggest pain points we just talked about, grant writing and donor engagement. All right, first up, the grant writing bottleneck. We all know this feeling. It is so high stakes, it takes up an insane amount of time, and half the time it just feels like you're shouting into the void, right? It's a huge barrier that keeps so many amazing programs from getting the funding they absolutely deserve.
And this number really shows you the brutal reality of that bottleneck. Think about it. After all those hours, weeks of research, writing, editing, stressing, the average success rate for a competitive grant is only somewhere between 10 and 20%. That is a staggering amount of your team's precious time and energy for such a tiny, uncertain chance of return. It's not sustainable.
So where does AI come in? Well, imagine this. Imagine a tool that can generate a complete first draft of a grant proposal in minutes, not weeks. It pulls from all your past work, all your program data, and it even analyzes the specific funder's priorities to tailor the language perfectly. Now, it's not going to write the final, perfect proposal for you. You still need that human touch, but it gets you like 80% of the way there instantly.
And the impact here is just staggering. Organizations that are using these tools are seeing a 60 to 80%, let me say that again, 60 to 80% reduction in the time they spend writing a single proposal. Just let that sink in for a second. What could your team do with all that time back? That's more time for actual strategy, for building real relationships with funders, for focusing on the mission itself. It's a total game changer.
All right, let's switch gears to the other big challenge, donor engagement. Look, in today's world of constant digital noise, those generic one-size-fits-all email blasts, they just don't cut it anymore. People have donor fatigue. Keeping your supporters engaged and feeling valued is a massive challenge for pretty much every nonprofit out there.
And this number, well, it kind of says it all. The average donor retention rate is only around 40%. Let's put that in perspective. For every 10 donors you work so hard to bring in, you're losing 6 of them by the next year. 6! That means you're on this constant uphill battle just to tread water. And trying to personalize things to keep them engaged? Manually, that's almost impossible to do at scale. And this is another place where AI can be a powerful ally. It can actually look at all your donor data and start predicting things, like who might be ready to give again, or just as importantly, who might be at risk of lapsing so you can reach out. It lets you send these super personalized messages to thousands of people at once, making every single supporter feel seen, heard, and valued. It really does transform fundraising from just a mass appeal into a whole series of meaningful personal journeys.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds great in theory, but does it actually work in the real world? Well, let's look at a few quick-hit impact stories from organizations that have already put these tools to work.
First up, check this out, the Hope Horizon Foundation. Before they started using AI, their donor retention was stuck at a pretty low 35%. After using AI to personalize their outreach, it jumped to 58% in 1 year. That is a massive boost in sustainable, reliable funding.
All right, next, the Global Green Alliance. They used AI to automate things like volunteer scheduling and other admin tasks. The result? They cut their administrative overhead by 45%. And look what that actually means. It freed up 55% more time for their team to spend on the real, mission-focused work they're actually passionate about.
And finally, this one is just wow. Care Connect Health. It used to take them 3 full weeks to put together their quarterly impact reports. With AI-powered analytics, that entire process now takes them just 3 days. Think about that. 3 weeks down to 3 days. That isn't just a small efficiency gain. That is a fundamental transformation of how they operate.
So, after seeing results like that, you're probably thinking, okay, this is amazing, but how on earth do we even get started? And the good news, the really good news, is that the path to adoption is way clearer and more accessible than you probably think.
You can really break the whole process down into 4 straightforward steps. First, you just assess your biggest needs. Where does it hurt the most? And then define some clear goals. Second, you got to prepare your data. This is key, because AI is only as good as the information you give it. Third, you train your team so everyone feels confident. And finally, you launch and you optimize. And remember, this is a journey, right? It's not like flipping a switch and everything changes overnight.
So I want to leave you with this one powerful thought. The AI revolution. It's not something that's coming in the future. It is already here, right now. The tools are accessible, they're affordable, and they are already helping nonprofits amplify their missions in some absolutely incredible ways. So really, the only question left is, are you ready to lead the way?